Right now, 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 right now. Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your weekly morning show where we bring you the latest in everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about Cynthia Lummis being appointed as the chairperson of the Senate Subcommittee on Banking, specifically for digital assets. Today, she has made an announcement that she is pushing extremely hard for the strategic Bitcoin reserve to be created, and we're going to be looking at exactly the timetable on that. When are we going to see that happen? Is that going to happen? And we're also going to be looking at a lot of the other efforts that Donald Trump has been putting into motion to clarify the regulatory framework of the cryptocurrency space. It seems that the banking world understands that Donald Trump and his executive department, his executive branch, are going to help to push forward clear regulation, specifically in the CFTC, specifically in the Securities and Exchange Commission. And it seems that the banks believe that they're going to have much clearer regulation on exactly how they should be operating in Bitcoin. So we're going to be talking about a lot of that today. Bitcoin has been rallying very well over the last 12 hours or so. We've rallied up to about 106,000. It looks like the path up towards 110,000 is clear. So very soon here, we're likely going to see another large rally on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as a result of the bullish announcements here in the crypto space. It really seems that the excitement here in cryptocurrency is palpable right now. A lot of people are very excited about the future. They believe that Trump and his administration and the now red Congress, both Senate and House, are going to deliver clear regulation for cryptocurrency, which will allow it to flourish. So we're going to be looking at the future of Bitcoin today. And most importantly, we're going to be looking at how we can flourish in this space, that is the cryptocurrency space. There has been so much development going on in the last few months, and that's not going to stop anytime soon. So if you want to learn more about cryptocurrency, this is the channel to subscribe to. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed today's stream, and stay tuned. Go ahead and drop any questions that you have in the chat. We're going to read chat here for just a second. We're going to dive right on into this big announcement from Cynthia Lummis that she thinks the strategic Bitcoin reserve could be coming very, very soon. Called Out is in chat, said, Ayo Potato. Hello, Called Out. Good morning. Callum Brown is in chat. Victor's in chat. Drian121. Christopher Ryans. Blasnik. Jamie B, Jeremy Shorter, Philly Skills, The Zood is in chat, said Zup from Brazil. Shout out to Brazil. NFT Artist said, hey, SBR is pumping on Phantom, waiting for Cynthia Lummis to announce. It will likely be coming before long. Now, obviously, Congress moves about as fast as a snail that had just woken up from not enough sleep, but still, we should be able to see that happening sometime this year. Christopher Ryans is in chat. Said, big news for Bitcoin today. Trump doing something at 2:30 with El Salvador. Not surprising. I think there's going to be a lot of collaboration there between the two nations, as they are both now led by pro-cryptocurrency leaders. The world loves Trump. The man is, someone said the man's a god. I don't think he's God, but he's definitely pretty popular right now. Hey, Jeb, here's my question, bro. How can we seem to put an old, new, all-time high when... Let me try and reread that. Hey, Jeb, here's my question, bro. How can we can't seem to put in an old, a new, all-time high? Any one of these stories last cycle would have moonshotted us. I see. So how have we not been able to put in a new all-time high? Well, I think that perfectly segues us into the actual content today, because that is a good question, a question that we should address. Why has Bitcoin not gone through a larger rally yet? I think there's a few reasons, but first let's kind of qualify the question. Bitcoin saw the world saw the inauguration of President Donald Trump on Monday, January the 20th, and we did see a new all-time high get set during that day. We saw Bitcoin rally up before the inauguration to $109,500. But the question on the table is, why has Bitcoin not rallied farther? There's a few things going on here. First and foremost, part of what's going on here is that there has not actually been much movement out of the Trump administration just yet in the way of cryptocurrency adoption. There's been a few things. Yesterday, we talked about the pardoning of Ross Ulbricht, which was a huge signal that we now have a pro-cryptocurrency presidency and a pro-cryptocurrency executive branch that is probably going to make regulation much less predatory and much more beneficial, benevolent towards the cryptocurrency space. It's not necessarily going to be an administration that is as much targeting the cryptocurrency industry. Now, the thing that we have to keep in mind is that just because the president changes doesn't mean that all the low-level people have changed. The issue that you run into sometimes with presidents is that they're not going to go and gut 1 million people out of the executive branch. You still have a lot of the same people working in the executive branch, even though they're under different leadership, right? And so that, along with the overall almost not quite radio silence, but almost radio silence that we've seen from President Trump on cryptocurrency seems to be the issue. So the first reason why I don't think that Bitcoin is pumped more, and I'm glad you mentioned this because this was actually kind of the first place I wanted to go here. The main reason I think that is because Trump and his team went and launched the meme coin. Trump. And Melania. And Trump, obviously, based on his understanding that it pumped a lot, didn't know hardly anything about it. I think he knew that it existed. He was like, oh, yeah, I heard about that. But at the press conference, they said, did you know that you made billions of dollars? He said, oh, well, that's nothing. That's peanuts compared to these guys talking about banking people over there behind his shoulder. What you saw is he was kind of surprised. He literally said, I haven't checked it since it launched. The guy has zero interest in the Trump coin, right? So it's not something that he's really focusing on. But what happened is that he probably does know about the controversy around it. He probably does know about the fact that a lot of people think it was a terrible idea, and he's trying to stay quiet on it. So it's not a surprise that Bitcoin was not mentioned in the inaugural address, and it's also not a real surprise that we haven't seen much mention of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency specifically until this whole Trump escapade blows over. And so I think that it's more of a political movement for timing that he hasn't mentioned cryptocurrency so much, mainly because he doesn't want to equate this controversy around the meme coin with Bitcoin. That's what seems to be happening to me, is that he's actually probably trying to protect the interests that the administration has that are pro-cryptocurrency. So he wants to kind of separate those two things out because they are two fundamentally different conversations. But because of the quiet from Donald Trump so far around cryptocurrency, Bitcoin hasn't really pumped as much as people thought it would. If Bitcoin was mentioned at the inaugural address, or if we had had a strategic Bitcoin reserve executive order on day one, which we told you was probably not going to happen because strategic reserves are generally created by Congress. For example, the Strategic National Reserve for oil and petroleum gas was created in the late 20s, I think it was. It was in the just about 100 years ago, and it was created by act of Congress. So generally, it's something that's going to go through Congress, not by executive order. So we probably weren't going to see that on day one. We didn't see that on day one, and so the overall underwhelming start to the presidency as far as it relates to something like a strategic Bitcoin reserve is probably part of the reason that we haven't pumped more. Now, the other reason why we haven't pumped more, I think, has a lot to do with a very certain group of people called BlackRock. As you will probably know, there are a huge number of people that are buying Bitcoin with BlackRock right now, and BlackRock has a massive amount of investment in Bitcoin. BlackRock has the power to help suppress the market, hold the market down by the selling of the assets that they hold. We haven't seen a lot of this on the surface, but what we do believe is that there is some kind of pressure that is holding the market down right now. Manipulation. We don't know exactly where it would be coming from or exactly who is doing it, but what we do know is that there are a lot of people that are trying to get into Bitcoin right now that want the price to stay as low as possible for as long as possible, and there are a lot of different ways to keep the price low that don't show up on the metrics that we typically follow. And we've seen it happen before, and we can see it happen now. Many of these big companies, such as BlackRock, are probably trying to keep the price as low as they possibly can for as long as they can so they can acquire as much as they can before everybody else can. The rest of the world is still not up to speed on Bitcoin. The vast majority of the world does not understand Bitcoin, its use case. The world is waking up to the fact right now that their money is fake. The dollar is fake. Is it real in the sense that you can transact in it? Yes. It fulfills two of the three properties of a currency. It fulfills the fact that it is a unit of account. You can denominate it down to a penny. It fulfills the fact that it is a medium of exchange. I can walk into a store and hand someone $1 and they'll hand me, a candy bar or whatever. You can't buy a candy bar for $1 anymore, but you get the point. what it does not do very well at all is the third part of a good money, which is store of value. It is stupid, dumb with a capital D, to try and store your wealth in Bitcoin. Sorry, somebody's gonna clip that. It is dumb with a capital D to try and store your wealth in the dollar for the long term. The dollar has lost 99% of its value in the last century. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is able to sustain its value into the long-term distant future, and putting money in Bitcoin actually allows that wealth to grow, not just because of the debasement of the dollar, which it is measured against, but also because Bitcoin is being adopted at the same time. So you're jumping on two trains at once that you don't get with the dollar. You're going against the debasement of the dollar, and you are also investing in the growth of the platform, which is Bitcoin. People are just starting to wake up to the fact that the dollar does not do that. The yen does not do that. The peso, every single one of the 50,000 different kind of pesos there are, do not do that. The kroner does not do that. None of those things are able to store value in the way that Bitcoin does, because at a time, the dollar was backed by gold. Even then, it was still somewhat inflationary because they mined more gold. Newsflash, 2% inflation on the dollar looks a whole lot like 2% inflation on the gold supply, because 2 or 3% of the entire amount of gold in the world was mined in the last 12 months every single year. So there's still inflation going on with the gold supply. Gold is not non-inflationary like some people think it is. Peter Schiff. See if we can get him on the show and talk to him about that. Wonder what he would say about that. The world is waking up to the fact that Bitcoin is fundamentally different, and you're able to actually store your wealth in it for the long term in a way that you've never been able to do before. As people wake up to that, these companies realized it first. Well, think about it. How do you build a $12 billion company? Because you know something that other people don't. Because you do something that other people don't. Why do people succeed? Oh, well, it's just because of how they were born. It's just because of where they came from. It's just because of the color of their skin. That does have something to do with it. Now, if you're a serf in 14th century England, you're probably not going to go build $1 billion tech company. But in the modern world, if you are given the same opportunities, which most people are, and by opportunities, I don't mean that you are given a silver spoon. I'm saying you got an internet connection and you got a body that generally works, then you have the ability to go build some wealth. What's the difference with these companies? These companies know something and do something that the rest of the world doesn't. And so it's no surprise that the companies and the governments of the world are realizing the truth of Bitcoin before the public is. And so the companies are trying to keep the Bitcoin price as low as they can for as long as they can, so they can eat as much of it as they can, so the people can get as little as possible, because the companies have been able to eat it up. That's why BlackRock pushed the charge, said, hey, SEC's not having a Bitcoin ETF. We're going to put our hand in there. They've had like 500 ETFs approved, only ever had one denied. We're going to get an ETF approved. SEC, you work for us. Larry Fink basically runs Wall Street. And so they've been trying to acquire as much assets under management for Bitcoin and as much Bitcoin for their company in specific as possible. So that's the second reason why I think that Bitcoin has not just gone on a massive pump, is partially because of the fact that I think it's being suppressed. These companies, these governments of the world, MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, they all understand the future of Bitcoin is bright. They all understand that in the 2030s, Bitcoin's going to hit the millions of dollars per coin. By 2040, it's going to be trading between $3 to $5 million. You've heard me say that for a very long time. I told you guys for years it would hit $100,000 eventually. People thought I was crazy, and then it happened. And one day, Bitcoin will be trading at $3 to $5 million per US dollar, partially because of the devaluation of the dollar, partially because of the advancement of Bitcoin to become the world's store of value. And you're going to see that just absolutely take over. Everybody's going to understand it the same way everybody understands the incandescent light bulb now. But people don't understand that yet. And these companies do. So they're trying to buy it. So why is Bitcoin not just absolutely moonshot yet? Because of that. Because the companies understand it. They want to keep it suppressed for as long as possible, because unlike you sometimes, unlike me sometimes, they're willing to wait 5 to 10 years to get a return. We've got to get a return in the next 6 months or it's not good enough for us. Right? That's stupid. Instead, they're willing to say, hey, we're going to buy Bitcoin. We're going to hold it for 15 years. That's going to create more shareholder value. That's going to create bigger kickback bonuses for them so they can make more money out of the company that they run. So, 2 reasons. Number 1, we've had a lot of silence from Trump. Number 2, the Bitcoin space is being suppressed because the elites understand where it's going and they don't want it to go there too quickly, because that eats away at the time that they could be acquiring Bitcoin on the cheap. Jeb, $105,000 Bitcoin is on the cheap? Yep. When you zoom out and you look at the entire perspective, $105,000 for a Bitcoin is nothing compared to what's coming. Bitcoin does gold better than gold, and gold is worth 10 times as much as Bitcoin. If Bitcoin had gold's market capitalization right now, Bitcoin would be trading at $1.3 million. And Bitcoin does it better. You know how many people don't buy gold to store value because they realize that it's inflationary, so they buy the United States stock market instead? Bitcoin is attacking all of them. People buy two things to avoid inflation. U.S. stocks, three things. U.S. stocks, real estate, and gold. Gold is inflationary. The stock market can crash because of terrible policy in Washington, and real estate can burn to the ground. None of that affects Bitcoin. Bitcoin will be a $50 trillion market capitalization one day. And people are starting to realize that. So let's talk a little bit about today's news now that we kind of have a backdrop of what's going on in the long run. Hopefully you understand now why our family buys Bitcoin every single day. We've been doing it for a long time. We buy Bitcoin every single day, and on a dip, we buy more. We have a cash reserve that we fill up every once in a while, and then out of that, we just daily purchase. And then out of that cash reserve, it drops a bunch, then we just dump more into it. We just buy Bitcoin as much as we can. We stack sats like crazy. We've been acquiring Bitcoin for years. A little while ago, a few months ago, we started acquiring Bitcoin every single day. Should have done it earlier. Had always kind of just acquired it here and there and everywhere, but forget that. A system. We need to do what we preach. We have a system. We have an investment plan. Our investment plan is we invest X amount every single day in Bitcoin. It's that simple. And wouldn't you know it, the amount of Bitcoin that we hold goes up every day. Wow. All right. Let's go on over to Twitter because we've got a little bit of an announcement here from Cynthia Lummis. All over Twitter. Watcher.guru has a snippet of this. Just in, Senator Cynthia Lummis officially named chair of Senate Banking Subcommittee on Digital Assets. Like it. Digital assets are the future. This is a direct quote from Senator Cynthia Lummis. Digital assets are the future. I like the way that starts. And if the United States wants to remain a global leader in financial innovation, Congress needs to urgently pass bipartisan legislation establishing a comprehensive legal framework for digital assets and that strengthens the United States dollar with a strategic Bitcoin reserve. I am humbled my colleagues have placed their trust in me to chair this historic subcommittee, and I look forward to shepherding bipartisan legislation to President Trump's desk this year that secures our financial future. End quote. Doesn't get much clearer than that. A couple of key words there. Well, first of all, I've got to mention this. Kraken's over here just dropping the memes. Bitcoin reserve. Gemini said big with a capital B for Bitcoin. Right? Out with the old, in with the new. What? That's terrible. All right. Jokes aside, Twitter's fun. X is fun. Couple of key words there. Number one, digital assets are the future. That's the way this whole thing started. Let's not forget, Senator Cynthia Lummis is a senator. You know, there's only 100 of those, right? Senator Cynthia Lummis is a senator of the United States of America, and she is now the leader of the Banking Subcommittee on Digital Assets. They didn't pick an anti-cryptocurrency individual for the leader of the Subcommittee on Digital Assets, of which there are plenty. No, instead, they picked Cynthia Lummis. Of all 100 senators that could have had this position, Cynthia Lummis was the one that got it. Why? Because her colleagues want a strategic Bitcoin reserve. That's my first point. People don't understand this. They think that, Senator Cynthia Lummis has no support for the Bitcoin reserve. Do you hear yourself? Part of the reason Trump got elected was because he was talking about Bitcoin. He won by like 5 million votes. You realize that he got a lot of the libertarian vote and a lot of the right vote because, and even some of the left vote, because Bitcoin's kind of all over the place. It's not just on the right. Trump got a lot of the vote because of his pro-cryptocurrency stance, because of his pro-Bitcoin stance, because people assumed that he would, not assumed, in fact, last summer, I think it was June, he talked about, hey, we'll just build a strategic Bitcoin reserve, hand him a little Bitcoin and wipe away the debt, right? More people in Congress than you realize are pro-Bitcoin reserve because of a few reasons. The main reason is they understand that Bitcoin is the future. It is undeniable now. When I say the elites understand where Bitcoin is going, I'm not kidding. They get it. They understand that the writing is on the wall and Bitcoin is the future. Full stop. It's coming. You can't stop it. So get on the train or get left behind. And the individuals in Congress also realize that they have no term limits. which means that they can be in Congress until they're 130 years old and they have flies flying out of their ears. And if they want to get reelected, they saw what happened with Kamala. She got whooped because she was not pro-cryptocurrency. It's not the only reason, but her being anti-cryptocurrency did not help her case. It did not help Biden's cause. The left and the right both see that if you are anti-cryptocurrency, you're going to lose your voting base, at least a portion of it. There's like 80 million, 100 million Americans that use cryptocurrency regularly these days. Out of nowhere, like whiplash kind of quick, we have so much adoption for Bitcoin. It's here, and it's here for good, and it's not going anywhere. And so I see a bit of a threat in this that you might not have realized at first. She uses the word bipartisan twice. Congress needs to urgently pass bipartisan legislation establishing a comprehensive legal framework for digital assets and that strengthens the United States dollar with a strategic Bitcoin reserve. If you didn't notice the wording of that, you could have honestly said that Trump said that, and you could kind of think, oh, that's in the same framework. Who's watched this? Check this out. Donald Trump. Who has seen his portrait? If I can spell portrait. Let's see if I can spell portrait. This one. Right here. This picture. Have you seen this picture? Somebody made a post about this. I read the other day. This picture is intentionally intimidating. This picture was intended to say, I am sent here with a mandate by the American people. You are going to do what I tell you to do, or you are going to be gone. And the funny thing is, after somebody pointed out the way that the lighting, his face, how the side lighting is going on, it's intentionally supposed to look intimidating. Like, I'm going to knock you out if you get in my way. That's what this picture is supposed to look like. This is the official presidential portrait that will hang in the White House for the rest of time, for the rest of the history of the United States of America. This is the official portrait. When that individual posted this picture with that reading of it, like, this is intimidating, this is supposed to intimidate people into doing what he says because I came here with a mandate from the American people. The person that took the picture and edited it, Donald Trump, as president, his official photographer, responded and said, yep, you're completely right. The person that took this picture agreed that the reason that this picture was taken was, I'm going to intimidate you, you're going to do exactly what I say, I'm here with a mandate, etc. Why do I mention that? Because if you read this again, if you read this post from Cynthia Lummis again, this quote, Congress needs to urgently pass bipartisan legislation establishing a comprehensive legal framework for digital assets and that strengthens the United States dollar with a strategic Bitcoin reserve. This is not a suggestion. This is a thinly veiled threat hidden with nice, kind words like humbled and shepherding. Cynthia Lummis is trying to be kind, but she's also making it very clear that you will help me pass the strategic Bitcoin reserve or else. This is very thinly veiled, pointed language at the rest of Congress. You are going to help us pass this because we have a mandate from the American people, or else. Or else what? Or else you're not going to get reelected. Everybody in Congress, most people in Congress, want to sit there and be career politicians for the rest of time. Left, right, up, down, back, forward, purple, purple, green. They all want to be there for the rest of time. They all like their power. Cynthia Lummis probably included. I don't know her stance on term limits. She's basically saying here, if you want to get reelected, you did better listen to what the American people said when they elected red Congress, red House, red Senate, red president to push the orange coin, Bitcoin. Is Cynthia Lummis going to be able to get this passed? Yes. Because this is a statement that is made from a position of strength. She is demanding for bipartisan legislation. She is demanding to have the shepherding done for bipartisan legislation. That word is in there twice. It is in there twice for a reason. It is to make a point to the left. Do not try and fight back on Trump on this issue, or you will lose even harder than you lost in 2024. Is a strategic Bitcoin reserve coming? It is. The American people spoke during the last election, and a big part of the reason that they spoke the way that they did was because of the cryptocurrency movement. Trump swooped in the final hour, realizing that the Biden administration has absolutely taken a dump on cryptocurrency and said, we are going to scoop up the entire voter base for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and they're ours now. It's a big part of the reason why the left is in retreat, because the left screwed up with cryptocurrency. They thought that they could mess around and try and regulate it into oblivion, and it failed, and it blew up in their face, and it's a big part of the reason why they lost so bad in November. So, is a strategic Bitcoin reserve coming? Yes, it is. But that's not the only thing that we expect to be coming before long. Cryptocurrency execs see a clear path for U.S. to pass regulation this year as Trump fuels market hype. You see, this is kind of what I'm talking about. The cryptocurrency executives, the people that are at the top, they understand where we are going. They understand everything that I just told you. What I'm explaining to you about the intimidation and the you're going to do this or else more or less language that we're getting out of the Trump administration, out of Cynthia Lummis and everyone, they see that and they're like, all right, well, I guess that's where we're going. They've accepted the more fertile ground for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a foregone conclusion. It has happened past tense. Now we are just waiting for the fulfillment of it. The CEOs of Coinbase, Binance, and Circle told CNBC they see a clearer path towards getting concrete laws for the cryptocurrency industry. Coinbase's Brian Armstrong said that he sees crypto entering the dawn of a new day with the Trump-led United States administration. The U.S. SEC launched a crypto task force aimed at developing a comprehensive and clear regulatory framework for cryptocurrency. For cryptocurrency assets. Cryptocurrency firm bosses are optimistic about the changes of comprehensive federal rules for the industry passing this year, now that Donald Trump, who is a backer of Bitcoin, returned to the White House. The CEOs of Coinbase, Binance, and Circle told CNBC they see a clear path towards securing some concrete rules on digital assets. One of the main things I want to talk about here is Armstrong's quote, and then also this crypto task force idea. Brian Armstrong said this. Let's see, where did he start? He started right here. You have to remember, the last 4 years, we really felt like we were being attacked by this administration, Armstrong told CNBC in a TV interview at the World Economic Forum's event in Davos, Switzerland. Ugh, Davos. They tried to weaponize the lack of clarity in the rules to really push back even on the good actors, Armstrong added. There were some bad actors too, to be fair, but they even really tried to go after the good actors, I think, like us. And that's what we saw. You've heard of this. It's called Operation Choke Point 2.0. That's what a lot of these chief executive officers are calling the last 4 years of administration. Operation Choke Point 2.0. That was the phrase that was given to this all-out attack on crypto. The last 4 years have seen an assault on crypto. So honestly, this is a third answer to the question earlier. Why did we not pump so much? Part of the reason we haven't pumped so much is because the entire world has to adjust to the idea that, okay, now the United States government is going to be fostering and shepherding the adoption and the development of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. All of a sudden, the United States federal government is on our side. For the last 4 years, they were against us, and the 4 years before that, they didn't even know we were here. Trump's first administration had no idea that Bitcoin was even a thing. Trump, I think, saw it on the news one time and said, oh, that's bad for Bitcoin. That's bad for the dollar. I don't like Bitcoin. And then that was his whole stance. He took 5 minutes on the toilet on Twitter, and that was all he knew about Bitcoin, probably. In the first administration, that's all he knew. Now there's an actual concrete policy going on here. This is mainstream adoption happening right before your eyes. I hope you can see it because it is here. And when you see mainstream adoption of a new technology, especially when there is a clear framework for how to do business in that technology is going to explode. You saw it happen with the automobile. You saw it happen with cameras, lights, computers, telephones, you name it. It's happened. When you see the government, on the one hand, get out of the way of innovation, and on the second hand, if they're actually supporting innovation and adoption, even better, you're going to see things change. But people are still getting used to that. People have still not fully comprehended the fact that we are now in a new era. But these CEOs have. These CEOs have. And they're very, very, very excited. They're doubling down. The future is here, at our doorstep, knocking. The world just has to let it in. On Tuesday, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission announced the launch of a crypto task force aimed at developing a comprehensive and clear regulatory framework for crypto assets. Where was that? Where was that for the last 4 years under Gary Gensler? I just love it. I think it is just the funniest thing. God, I think it's funny. Gary Gensler resigns. Next day, Trump launches a meme coin. Oh my goodness, the memes on that have been absolutely hilarious. Let's see if I can find some. It's terrible. It's just, let's see. Trump launched a meme coin. Yep. Trump launches a meme coin on the day Gary Gensler quit. What are the odds? There aren't odds. It was intentional. There we go. Here's one. Gary Gensler watching Trump launch a meme coin right after leaving the Securities and Exchange Commission. But now, we've got an SEC that's actually pro-cryptocurrency. Can you believe it? Paul Atkins is actually pro-crypto. It's amazing. Commissioner Hester Pierce, by the way, this is SEC's actual document on this. SEC Crypto 2.0. Acting Chairman Uyuda announces formation of new crypto task force. Guess who's going to be the one leading it? The Commissioner Hester Pierce. Crypto Mama. If you don't know Crypto Mom, her name is Hester Pierce. She's been sitting up there on the 5-person SEC for the last, I don't know how long. I think she was appointed in Trump's first term. She will lead the task force. Richard Gabbert, senior advisor to the acting chairman, and Taylor Asher, senior policy advisor to the acting chairman, will serve as the task force's chief of staff and chief policy advisor, respectively. Drawing from talent across the agency, the task force, I got a lisp all of a sudden. The task force will collaborate with commissioner staff and the public to set the SEC on a sensible regulatory path that respects the bounds of law. Today, the SEC has relied primarily on this is where the SEC tells on itself. The SEC has relied primarily on enforcement actions to regulate cryptocurrency retroactively and reactively, often adopting novel and untested legal interpretations along the way. If you don't speak legalese, this is basically the way of the new SEC just trashing the old SEC. Let's read that again. That's funny. This is how lawyers diss each other. This is basically lawyer rap battle right here. To date, the SEC, we need to get like a trap beat behind this. To date, the SEC has relied primarily on enforcement actions to regulate cryptocurrency retroactively and reactively, often adopting novel and untested legal interpretations along the way. In other words, the SEC didn't know what it was doing, but they knew they didn't like Bitcoin, so they just made crap up along the way and tried to make it stick. Clarity regarding who must register and practical solutions for those seeking to register have been elusive. That is true. The result has been confusion about what is legal, which creates an environment hostile to innovation and conducive to fraud. The SEC can do better. Just got to punch in on that right there. The SEC can do better. The task force's focus. This is the tone of the entire new administration. Old administration, you're dumb. Why did you not do this a long time ago? You can do better than that. It's just almost condescending. The task force's focus will be to help the commission draw clear regulatory lines, provide realistic paths to registration, craft sensible disclosure frameworks, and deploy enforcement resources judiciously. The task force will operate within the statutory framework provided by Congress and will coordinate that's a big one. Will operate within the statutory framework provided by Congress. What does that mean? That means that they only operate in securities. Because it's the Securities and Exchange Commission, not the CFTC, the Commodities Future Trading Commission. It's the Securities and Exchange Commission. See that? They will operate within the statutory framework provided by Congress. In other words, we're going to do our job instead of trying to do everybody else's job, because that's not our job. Provided by Congress, and will coordinate the provision of the technical assistance to Congress as it makes changes to that framework. The task force will coordinate with federal departments and agencies, including the CFTC and state international counterparts. I look forward to the efforts of Commissioner Pierce to lead regulatory policy on crypto, which involves multiple SEC divisions and offices, Acting Chairman Uyuda. This undertaking will take time, patience, and much hard work. It will succeed only if the task force has input from a wide range of investors, industry participants, academics, and other interested parties. We look forward to working hand in hand with the public to foster a regulatory environment that protects investors, facilitates capital formation, fosters market integrity, and supports innovation, stated Commissioner Pierce. The task force anticipates holding roundtables in the future, but in the meantime, it welcomes public input at crypto@sec.gov. Send all of your input to crypto@sec.gov. Let me say that again. Send all of your input to crypto@sec.gov. They literally asked for it. Why not? If you've got something to say, shoot them an email. Apparently, they're going to read them. Cool. Send them like 5,000 emails. No, I'm just kidding. Don't spam the box or else they might not look at it. Send one. Don't spam them or else they might just throw the whole thing out. So, why is all of this important? More regulatory clarity, more adoption, more innovation. The overall theme of today's stream is as such. It actually does go back to that first question that was asked in chat. Why is Bitcoin not done more yet? If all this is happening, why is it not done more? Well, Rome wasn't built in a day, friends, or a week, or a month, or a year. It's that simple. The shift has begun, and a big rally is coming. But this is just the beginning. Bitcoin has to get its feet under it first. Bitcoin has to get established. What do I mean? What I mean is that this rally has to trust that this new direction is real and that this new direction is going to stay a priority for the new administration. There's a trust element here. Yes, it's a new administration, but cryptocurrency has been in the line of fire for the last 4 years, and before that, completely neglected. You've got to understand if cryptocurrency is a little gun shy. If it's a little bit like, got a little bit of beaten puppy syndrome, like, hey, does this person actually love me or not? So it's going to take time before cryptocurrency realizes, this is real. We're actually mainstream now. It's going to take time. It's going to take time, but it's going to get there. So let's look at the technicals. What do we think about all this? First thing first, the technicals are just about as great as they could be. We're above the 20 daily exponential moving average. Here on Luxalgo, we have a confirmed buy signal, have for several days. Confirmed buy signal is right there. Aki, it's right here. Boom. That confirmed buy signal is giving us a price target way up here. We're probably going to end up rallying all the way up to the top of the resistance zone, which is about $125,000 before you know it. Over the next few weeks, you will probably see a slow, gradual, but sustained rally to the upside, where we will likely rally up towards $120,000 to $125,000, probably in the month of February. We're probably not going to see it happen right away, but it's probably going to end up happening, something kind of slow and gradual. We've seen a lot of consolidation here, and it looks a lot like what we did last year. A lot of consolidation, then you just kind of gradually and then all at once went into a big rally. That's probably what we're going to see happen here pretty soon. Bitcoin's going to go into a big rally, start going to the upside. And a lot of other things are going to change. You're going to see inflation coming down. You're going to see interest rates coming down. You're going to see the stock market rallying. And all those things are going to be very pro-cryptocurrency, which will support and enable a big rally on Bitcoin. Another thing to mention here is that speaking of rally on the stock market, we're about to see most likely a break here bullish on the United States S&P 500. S&P 500 is sitting at 607. The ETF, anyway, is sitting at 607. The actual thing is sitting at like 6,070 or so, about 100 times, about 10 times higher. But the mutual fund here is sitting at about 607. All-time high is about 609. So we're about to break all-time high, which is great because that means that all of their retirement accounts are going to go up. People are going to consider that more of a risk-on market. And generally, when the United States stock market is in blue sky breakout territory, going into new bull runs, that is when you start to see the market perform exceptionally well on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is positively correlated to the stock market. When the stock market is breaking all-time high, generally Bitcoin moves right along and does the same thing. So big rally on Bitcoin probably coming very, very soon. If we look here at our four moving averages, we've been tracking the alignment of moving averages, and over the last few days on the daily chart, those have come into alignment. The 20 daily simple moving average is now back up above the 50. The alignment of the moving averages is one of the first big pieces of technical analysis that I taught you guys years ago when we started teaching technical analysis. The alignment of moving averages is very important, and we love to see it because it helps us to understand how and where and when Bitcoin is actually in confirmed bullishness. So now that we've got the 20 above the 50, you can see this cross right here. See? Notice the cross right there. Boom. Now that we've got this cross, it signals that Bitcoin is back in bullish territory. It signals that this rally that we're witnessing right now is fundamentally different from this rally, because we've actually broken up to a new all-time high. We actually got the alignment of moving averages correct. We actually went through the correction. You can see how these moving averages were very far apart here in the main part of the rally, but then they came right back together and converged on each other. But now that they're back in the bullish alignment of moving averages, 20, 50, 100, 200, even on the shorter term time frames down here on 4-hourly chart, or maybe we should look at 8-hour chart, actually would be better. You can see that on the 8-hourly chart, we've also got bullish alignment of moving averages here. The 100 is about to cross back up above the 200, but generally speaking, we've got bullish alignment of moving averages going on here with some bullish changes coming very, very soon. All of this to say that we have flipped from a confirmed downtrend based on how mixed up the moving averages were here to all the moving averages have straightened themselves out, giving us a more confident movement to the upside coming very soon. We also saw that Bitcoin was in a diamond formation here, which has originally broke bearish for a time, but we're actually breaking back to the upside right now. And the fact that we held $100,000 as support recently is extremely bullish as well, as it indicates that $100,000 is now a floor that Bitcoin will probably be able to hold for the foreseeable future. On the daily chart, we have a green, red, green formation. Green, red, green. This is a very important formation because it denotes bullish strength in the market. It denotes that the bulls are stronger than the bears. It denotes that while the bears attempted to send us into a correction, they failed. One last thing I want to mention is Lux Algo again. And guys, if you haven't signed up for Lux Algo, you totally should. There's a link in the description box down below. It is phenomenal. Phenomenal. I love Lux Algo. I've been using it for years. It's a great technical indicator. And as you can see, it is very bullish right now. Buy signal is here on the daily chart. If you look on the daily chart, it is extremely rare that the buy signal does not lead us into a strong uptrend. On the daily chart, on the 3-daily chart, we have a buy signal here and a buy signal there. We originally had a sell signal here, but it was not confirmed with trend catcher. So we ended up not seeing that send us into a major downtrend. But the buy signal being back reverts us back to a full-on strong buy signal, which is definitely going to give us confidence of a future uptrend. So, very happy about where we are right now on Bitcoin. One thing I'm not very happy about is Ethereum. Really not happy with what Ethereum is doing right now. Ethereum is really letting us down. And I think a big part of the reason for that is because of Solana. Solana's having its day. Ethereum, not so much. I wonder if this is the cycle where Ethereum is going to kick the bucket and Solana is really going to start taking over. It's very possible. Solana, the Rust programming language, all of it. It's growing very rapidly. If you look at DeFi Llama, you'll see. If you look at DeFi Llama, you'll see that the growth of Ethereum's total value locked is doing okay. It's sitting at 67 billion, mainly because you've got all the stable coins on it. But if you look at the growth over here on Solana, Solana's TVL is skyrocketing. It's up to 11 billion. If I'm buying altcoins right now, I'm picking between Ethereum and Solana, I'm buying Solana. Solana is knocking, is just winning. It's just simply put, it's winning. It's beating Ethereum at its own game. It's beating it really hard. So Solana is doing extremely well. And that's where I think that, Ethereum is not doing as well because Solana is taking the cake. Now, interestingly, Cardano is not doing very well either. It's sitting here stuck at $1. People are saying, win all season, win all season. It's coming. You guys have got to be patient. This is a good thing. The longer we stay down here at these levels, the longer we have to acquire before we see the next cycle just completely take off like a rocket ship, because it's coming. We're going to see a massive rally, but the longer that we trade sideways here, the longer we get to accumulate. So have patience. Think like the whales. Think like the institutions. Think like these cryptocurrency executives who see the writing on the wall and they want the market to stay down. Align your wants with the people that know what they're doing. The executives, the cryptocurrency executives, the people in the banking industry, the people that the big players in crypto, they want the market price to be suppressed so that they can acquire more. Think like them. Don't get in such a hurry. Don't get in such a hurry. All right, let's go ahead and read some chat. Jeb, look at the Bitcoin Ethereum chart, been downtrending for years. Yeah, it has. That's where I'm not that excited with ETH. That's why I've always had, that's why I've always seen, let's see, the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. See here, this is the Ethereum over Bitcoin chart. This is the growth of Ethereum versus the growth of Bitcoin. You can see here that based on its downtrending here, Ethereum has been losing value to Bitcoin for a very long time. Bitcoin, this basically shows us that Bitcoin has been the better investment vehicle of the two. And that's generally probably going to continue. That's generally probably what's going to continue. And so this, the more so that I see even Ethereum not doing as well, it leads me more and more in the direction of being like a Bitcoin maxi. I'm not a Bitcoin maxi, but I do hold like 70-80% of our portfolio in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the main thing that I want. Bitcoin's the main thing that I want. And so this is an unfortunate chart. It's kind of a scary chart, honestly. Things can be changing here, right? If we look at XRP Bitcoin, let's look at XRP over Bitcoin. You can see there's been a big jump lately. Bitcoin has outplayed XRP for a very long time, but XRP has outplayed Bitcoin recently, right? So we'll see what the future holds. Is there a future now where Solana XRP, where XRP is number 2, Solana's number 3, and Ethereum falls down the list? It's interesting. One of the big things that you got to consider is that a lot of the platforms are built on Ethereum, but a lot of them are also built on Solana, and frankly, Solana does a better job. Is Solana doing such a good job at this point that it has the capability to overthrow Ethereum? I think it might. I think it just might. Let's read some chat. Let's see. Patience is a virtue. That's right. Patience is a virtue. Would you prefer Ethereum, ADA, Solar, XRP out of these 4? Out of the 4, probably XRP right now. After that, it'd probably be Solana, then Ethereum, then ADA, then ETH. Trump coin will be the coin in the reserve, believe me. I don't know if Trump coin is going to go in the reserve. That would not be good. Don't want to see that happen. All right, let's see. Let's see. Bitcoin's going to millions earlier than Jeb is saying. I hope so. I buy Bitcoin every day. Love it. Baron coin will be next. Maybe. These billionaires are not as stupid as you think. They know exactly what this software is. Yes, they know exactly what they're doing. People are like, oh, the billionaires are stupid. Well, are you a billionaire? I'm sorry. Here's the thing. You've got people that have this idea in their head that they are smarter than everybody else, and they're living. We're watching Boy Meets World. Who knows that show? I need to hear it in chat. We're watching the show Boy Meets World right now at night, my wife and I, and we're in like episode 14 of season 1, right? Corey and Sean, these 2 middle school boys, they are given an assignment to go and do investment. They've got $1,000 of play money, and they're going to go invest it in the market in a certain way and see how much money they make. And basically, it's a paper trade. It's a good assignment. We were given the same kind of thing in school. They decide instead of doing that, they're going to go take $10 and they're going to bet it on a horse, and then they turn the $10 into $99. But on the way, Sean says, I got an uncle. I forgot his name. Uncle Brian. Uncle Brian says that he's an expert at horse racing. And they're walking around the corner, and Corey just goes, well, if he's an expert at betting on horses, then why does he live in a trailer? Right? There's a lot of people like that. They're experts at betting on horse races, but they live in the basement. Do you actually know what you're talking about? Because it doesn't really look like it. Right? And so there's a lot of people that want to say, oh, the billionaires don't know what they're doing. Well, are you a billionaire? Well, if they don't know what they're doing and you do, then why aren't you a billionaire? Right? A good tree cannot produce bad fruits, and a bad tree cannot produce good fruits. A tree will produce the fruit that is in keeping with the tree that it is. If you're wise, then we'll see that in your life. There will be fruit of your wisdom. If you're actually as smart as you think you are, if you're actually as wise as you think you are, if you're actually as hardworking as you think you are, then let's see it. But if not, then close your mouth and listen to people that know what they're talking about. There's plenty of times where somebody says something like, okay, I'm done. You know what you're talking about. I don't. I'm going to do that right now. Right? It's called meekness. Jesus said it best. The meek shall inherit the earth. All right. At what time is Senator Cynthia Lummis going to talk about the Bitcoin Reserve? We don't know when it's going to come, but what we do know is that she said this year. And I think it probably will happen quite soon. I think it probably will happen very, very soon. Because, again, all of Congress understands that it's coming. Most of Congress wants their name to go down in history. It's part of the reason they're in Congress, is this desire for glory. They want to go down in history. And so when you have something as historic as the strategic Bitcoin reserve being created, then you want your name on that. John Hancock. Why do we call the signature why do you call that your John Hancock, right? Why? Because everybody wanted to sign, John Hancock included. So he put his gigantic signature on the Declaration of Independence. Everybody around that in that room understood that the Declaration of Independence was going to be a document that was historical. It was going to be this document that was historical. And so Everybody wanted their signature on it because they want to go down in history. Would you know who John Hancock is if not for his signature? If not for this picture right here, would you have any idea who John Hancock is? Maybe, but maybe not. The reason that we know who he is because of what he signed, because of what he did. Everybody wants to be a part of that legislation, the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. When it becomes abundantly clear that something is going to happen, whether you fight it or not, then the wise thing to do is to get on the right side of history. The wise thing to do is to be a part of it. It's also the thing to do if you're a greedy individual who just wants to go down in history, is be a part of it. So I don't think it's going to take very long at all for the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Act to be passed. I think it's going to happen very quickly. And the main reason for that is because everybody wants to be a part of it. Nobody wants to go down in history as the person that stood in the way of that. It's that simple. Carlos quoted Matthew 6:33, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. That's a great verse. All these things shall be added unto you. Why is everyone so religious here? Well, because I was saved by grace through faith in Jesus Christ alone, and I like telling people about that. And that offends some people that I was saved by grace through faith alone in by Jesus Christ, but it happened. It did. That's why I do what I do, because Christ saved me. And I tell you what, I was a wretched sinner before he met me, and before I met him, and I'm still not perfect for sure, but at least I kind of know which direction to go. And that's something that most people in this world don't know, is which direction to go. All they know is make a lot of money, live a big life, and then they just say, bah, I'll figure out what happens after I die. Then, too late. And when they get to their deathbed, they also realize that they lived a whole life that was void of meaning because they didn't have the meaning giver, who was Christ in the first place. So, the sooner you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, the better the rest of your existence will be. Make no mistake, your body is mortal, your soul is immortal. Your consciousness, your thought process, you, not your body, not your physical flesh, but you, not your brain, your soul, it will live forever. It is immortal because it was made in the image of God, and God is immortal. And you will spend eternity somewhere. So choose very wisely where you will. I made a choice that I want to follow Christ, not because I'm afraid of hell, but because I love him so much that I never want to be away from him. And yeah, I don't want to go to hell either. All right, let's read some more chat. Love talking to you guys. We all need the Savior, a.k.a. Jesus Christ. Amen, brother. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Pew Pew Poom 2 just said just now. Yep, exactly. Everybody's kung fu fighting up there in Congress. Everybody's kung fu fighting. Amen, Jeb. Yep. We're here to bank bucks. If I make you the richest man on planet Earth and you don't get the gospel, then it was all for naught. I would rather you be clothed in sackcloth and rags for the rest of your life, but you know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, because you will spend eternity with him if you gave your life to him. The parable of Lazarus comes to mind. Lazarus was, he was chewed up by dogs, and he had wounds that were festering, and he was sleeping on the side of the road and everything, but he believed in God, and he followed Christ. And this rich man came along, and he asked him for help, and the rich man basically says, no, forget you, and he's got everything. He's got all the things, and then, Lazarus goes, and he dies. The dogs are licking his wounds. He dies of an infection. He goes to be with the Lord, and he's in heaven with Christ, and then the rich man dies, and he goes to hell, and because he didn't serve the Lord. And there's a great gulf and a great chasm between them and Lazarus, and in all the parables, Jesus doesn't name a name. He uses the name Lazarus, which means it's actually happened. Lazarus is up there in what's called Abraham's bosom, which is he's on his way to heaven, basically. And he looks across, and the rich man's crying out to Lazarus for mercy, more or less. He who humbles himself will be exalted, but he who exalts himself will be humbled. This rich man, who thought he had it all, is now in hell, and he can't get out. And he's asking Lazarus for mercy, saying, Lazarus, you, Jesus, you guys, send someone to tell my brothers about what's going to happen. And to which the response is given, they were sent Moses, they were sent Jacob, they were sent all the prophets. If they don't listen to them, they won't listen to us. They have their chance. We'll see if they accept him or not. So be very careful about thinking that your money is more valuable than your soul, because it's not. You are more valuable than anything else under creation, and you are equally valuable with every single other human being on planet Earth. And you have the chance to spend eternity with Christ. But it has everything to do with the decision that you make in this life, whether or not you will follow Jesus Christ, make him the Lord of your life. People are like, oh my gosh, Jeb, why are we talking about this? Well, I always wait until there's as many people as possible on stream to start talking about it so that so as many people as possible hear it. All right. Love you guys so much. Love you so, so, so much. All right. Let's keep going here. Let's talk about XRP a little bit. I'm real excited about XRP. I'm really, really excited about XRP. We've been putting some more money into XRP. And yeah, I'm going to be honest. I was a little bit surprised by how much we rallied. This just completely turned around. Completely turned around. Massive, massive, massive rally. 50 cents all the way up to $3. But I don't think we're done. I think we're going to go all the way up to $10. I think XRP is going to hit $8.50 this cycle. And I think that we're going to see a massive, massive rally bring us up that high. One of the charts I have here, if I can find it, I think it's my Bitfinex chart. Yes, we made a video about this recently. One of our first price targets here is $4.90. That is the 1.5. That's a 1.5 Fibonacci extension. And our next price target is $8.50. So around $8.35 and $4.90 are two of our exits. So $4.85 are our exits. I really do truly believe that we're going to see a big rally here on XRP. So very excited about our position here on XRP. I think we're going to continue to grow XRP in the face of Bitcoin. XRP has a much smaller market capitalization than Bitcoin. Massively smaller, less than a tenth the size. So it has a great chance to go on a major run. $10, $15, very much possibilities. And I also think it's very possible that XRP could flip an Ethereum this cycle. In fact, I'm pretty sure that it will, if only for briefly. It may not flip it forever, but I do believe that it's going to flip it eventually. And so we are going to be attempting to acquire even more XRP. Pretty excited about the project. The regulatory green lighting that we're seeing going on right now is enormous. Massive what's going on in that space. Massive. Now, just a quick recap for anybody who just tuned in. This meme is hilarious. Gary Gensler watching Trump launch a meme coin right after leaving the Securities and Exchange Commission. This guy, this is Gary Gensler, if you didn't know. That's his alter ego. I'm annoyed with you, guy. But this one, too. Gary Gensler walking out of the SEC office for the last time after seeing Trump launch a meme coin that goes from 0 to $24 billion in 12 hours. The look of horror. It's too funny. Oh, it's too funny. Poor Gensler. Poor guy. Here we go. Anyway, if we look at the homepage here, we can kind of look at Cynthia Lummis. I had it up, but it left. Let's find it again. This picture right here. Senator Cynthia Lummis posted this. This is just a quick recap. We've already talked about this earlier, but I'll go ahead and talk about it again. Cynthia Lummis posted this morning saying, digital assets are the future. And if the United States wants to remain a global leader in financial innovation, Congress needs to urgently pass bipartisan legislation establishing a comprehensive legal framework for digital assets and that strengthens the United States dollar with a strategic Bitcoin reserve. I'm humbled. My colleagues have placed their trust in me to chair this historic subcommittee, and I look forward to shepherding bipartisan legislation to President Trump's desk this year that secures our financial future. We talked a little bit about the tone of this letter. It needs to urgently pass bipartisan legislation. It's not just that Congress needs to pass legislation establishing a comprehensive. No, you cannot skip over these words, urgently and bipartisan. They're very, very important. This is a thinly veiled threat to anyone who would stand in the way of the strategic Bitcoin reserve. And the threat is this: Donald Trump and an enormous amount of senators and representatives got elected because of the idea of a strategic Bitcoin reserve. If you want to keep your job, help me get the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Act passed. This is pointed at the left. The right's already very pro-strategic Bitcoin reserve. This is pointed at the left that has historically stood very opposite of cryptocurrency. So this is a big deal. Very, very, very big deal. And it's probably going to happen. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's stream. If you have, I want to make sure you check something out, and that would be our very own Financial Sovereignty Academy. It is my dream It is my mission. Maybe that's a better word for it. It's my mission in life to help you guys establish financial prosperity. And I'm going to help you do that here in the Financial Sovereignty Academy. In the Financial Sovereignty Academy, I'm going to help walk you through 7 laws of money that are true at all times in life. And I'm going to help you walk through our 10-step financial sovereignty way to help you build what we call FinSov. If you want to build the financial sovereign life, then you have to do this by choosing to be financially sovereign. And so we've got the 10 steps, right? We declare war on chaos. We live on less than we make. We build and maintain a budget. We build a starter emergency fund. We clear our debt, our non-mortgage debt. We build 3 to 6 months of savings. We invest for retirement. Then we pay off our house early. Then we invest for extra wealth generation. And then we live FinSov. That's our 10 steps, right? We've got our 7 laws of money. Live on less than you make. Have a written plan for your money. Get and stay out of debt. Save and invest. Be radically generous. Choose financial sovereignty. And remember, it's God's money. We follow those laws and those steps, and together, we place those together, and we build wealth in a way that is actually going to bring joy to us, in a way that is actually going to change our lives. We have worked with a lot of people through financial counseling, through financial coaching through this. We've worked with people in our personal lives through this. We have people come to our house sometimes and ask for us for personal financial coaching, and we do that. We love helping you guys succeed with money. The reason that people come to this channel is because of the wisdom that we have acquired over the years in how to make money work for you rather than you being a slave to money. There's a lot that you can get wrong with money. It's very, very, very difficult to get money right on your own if you don't know what you're doing, right? And so I highly encourage you, sign up for the Financial Sovereignty Academy. Let me teach you guys. I've been working in the cryptocurrency space for almost 8 years, learning everything there is to know about Bitcoin and crypto, investment, and also about money. I have a family. I have 3 children that I provide for. I understand the way this stuff works, and I want to help teach you guys what I have learned. Now, I don't know everything. You guys teach me stuff sometimes, but I know enough to be teaching, and I want to share with you guys how to succeed with money. So make sure to sign up for the Financial Sovereignty Academy with the link in the description box down below. It's only $99 a year right now. That pricing is going to be increasing very soon. Very soon. I extended it a little bit, but it's going to be increasing very soon to $103 per year, right? Not a big increase, but if you want to lock in $99 a year forever, then get access to the Financial Sovereignty Academy, FSA, with the link in the description box down below, and do it right now. Don't wait any longer. A price increase is coming, and new content is coming very, very soon. In fact, I think today we're going to be uploading a new video into FinSov Academy as well. So stay tuned. A lot of development going on there. Really excited with everything that we're doing over in the Financial Sovereignty Academy. Let's read a little bit more chat, and then we're going to wrap it out here. One more announcement. As I've told you guys a couple of times, but I'm going to say again, we are going on vacation. Starting tomorrow, we have a winter trip that we go on every year. Last year, we went to Lake Lure, North Carolina. This year, we're going to an undisclosed part of the Appalachian Mountain Range. I'm not going to tell you exactly where I am, but we're going to be up in Appalachia and enjoying the cold weather. We got snow in Florida. I don't know if you saw, but there were a ton more. There was a ton of snow in northern Florida. We even had some flurries down here in Gainesville. And so we're going to go up there, see some snow, have some fun. And I will probably be making videos during that time, during that trip, so that you guys stay updated, but the stream will not be happening. So stay tuned. We'll be gone for the entirety of next week, first couple of days of the week following. After that, we're going to kind of hit the ground running, and we're going to get started with this year. We're going to have a lot of fun. This is kind of how our family does it. We really just kind of go all out 9-10 months of the year, but then most of December and a lot of January, we just kind of hone in, work on our home, work on our family, just have some fun. And then we just go ham for the summer. So stay tuned. The summer is coming. We're going to start planting seeds here pretty soon, growing the channel. I really appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Asif Ramzan said, need to ask more about subscription. Go right ahead. Ask away. Yeah. Praying for your family, sir. God bless you. Thank you very much, Bullish Bob. I appreciate it. She also said this year, the King Takeo. Yes, that is part of the announcement from Senator Lummis, is the phrasing of this year. We're likely going to be seeing a strategic Bitcoin reserve this year. She didn't say this month, so it's not necessarily going to happen right away, but she did say this year. And obviously, it's not just her. It has to pass House, Senate, and go up to the president, which the president would most likely sign it. But, yeah. So, yeah. Oh, here's one that's interesting. John McAfee's digital resurrection. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Somebody running John McAfee's account has put an artificial intelligence in charge of his account and is now tweeting once again. Very interesting. A little bit creepy, to be honest with you. Not sure whether it's in good taste or not, but yeah. So yeah. All right. See if we have any other chat, and then we'll wrap it out. Tell us about Lux Algo. It gets most calls right. Normally when it says the market's going to go up, market goes up. Normally when it says the market's going to go down, the market goes down. I've been using it for 4.5 years. The founder of Lux Algo has been a long-time fan of our channel. He and I are personal friends. Good guy, Sean Mack. He's got a channel over on YouTube. I told him for years. I said, Sean, you need to put your face out there. People would love you. Takes his channel off in a year. It's bigger than ours. I'm like, come on, man. Just leave some for the rest of us. No. But yeah, Sean Mack, Lux Algo's channel. They're doing really well. It's a great indicator. Best indicator in the game. So yeah, definitely sign up for Lux Algo. Links in the description box down below. Asian New Year, Chinese New Year is coming up. Maybe this is why Bitcoin isn't moving as much. That is very possible. That's definitely a possibility there. Wouldn't be surprised. A lot of retail is kind of slowing down around this time. Very possible. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's stream. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, sign up for Uphold and Nord. These are great companies that are going to help keep you safe and also give you a hub in cryptocurrency, because if you're not staying safe while you're browsing online, somebody could hack you and steal from you. We don't want that. I don't want anybody to hack you and steal from you. So let's prevent that by signing up for NordVPN with the link in the description box down below. Kind of same thing with Uphold. Uphold is going to help you stay safe because they've got something called Vault, which is a great place to store your Bitcoin. A lot of you guys are like, got Bitcoin, I'm going to lock it in, I'm going to hold on to it for a long time. Uphold's got Vault. Vault is a great place to put your Bitcoins. Make sure to sign up for Uphold with Vault down there for real. What's the success rate for Lux Algo? It depends on the chart. Generally, it's between 70 and 90%. There are actually some charts where we're seeing Lux Algo hitting up to 100% accuracy, but those are like the monthly chart where there's only been like 10 or 11 signals. But there are times where it'll go 10 times in a row and be right every single time. It's generally extremely accurate with the buy signal and trend catcher combination. It's very, very good. Very good. You guys in chat can tell Navhash about it, what you think of it. A lot of the guys here have it and love it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's see if we can get to 300 likes before we wrap it out. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it out. But before I do, guys, I love you. Lord bless you. Have a wonderful day. And before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.